Good morning. My name is Sylvie Pouliquen. I work at ENVRI-FAIR, and today I will present the work we did within the ENVRI-FAIR European project to enhance the fairness of 5 marine research infrastructures that are listed here. These 5 research infrastructures have different scope. 2 of them, Rodero and EMSO, are platform-oriented. ICOS is an essential ocean variable oriented for carbon. And the last 2 Life Water and DataNet, are data infrastructure. These 5 research infrastructures have different levels of maturity, and they are managing physical, chemical, and biological data. These research infrastructures are distributed infrastructure with a central portal to access the data at the research infrastructure level. They have already collaborated on some common standard, and ENVRI-FAIR is building on those foundations. To enhance the fairness of this research infrastructure, we have decided to take into account the priority of the different research infrastructure users, but also to prepare interoperability between the different research infrastructure agreeing on common vocabulary for data and metadata, with the goal to move toward a more coordinated and homogeneous European ocean data management landscape. We have also decided to showcase the potential of FAIR services through a marine domain use case that fosters us to enhance the coherency of the entire marine subdomain. Therefore, FAIR services implemented with each ENVRI is aimed to better serve its users, to facilitate marine domain integrated service development, contribute to ENVRI cluster service development within the future. How did we do this work on this? First, we made a fairness assessment that allows us to really highlight that our services were fair for people, but not very fair for machines, so that we had to work on this aspect. So we agreed on common vocabulary that will be implemented by all the research infrastructure, and we agreed on essential service to be set up by both research infrastructure at metadata and data level. Finally, we implemented this service within all the research infrastructure that allows us to develop the showcase that I was speaking of just in the previous slide, and to connect it to the ENVRI hub, showing the potential of such FAIR services for the community. The marine research infrastructure existed for a long time. Therefore, they have already in place their own metadata warehouse, data warehouse, file organization, and so on. So we decided that we needed to work at the interface between this research infrastructure and the end users. We had already pretty good tools for findability and search engine, and therefore we have been working on facilitating accessibility for GC services, data and metadata API, and especially an RDAP API available everywhere. We have been also working on interoperability and reusability through metadata API and vocabulary servers. Having done so, then it allows the development of specific services for users, both at the research infrastructure side, such as research infrastructure dashboard, or at the ENVRI cluster web level, where these services are visible and also connected to the European Science Cloud, but also available for other services that are under development, like the Blue Cloud VRE or the Copernicus services. All the research infrastructure have implemented the common vocabulary for the metadata description. They have also all implemented the description of their services and set up an RDAP API on their data. Some of them started to set up Sparkle endpoint, which allows semantic access to the data. In addition, new API has been developed directly by the different research infrastructures that will allow more advanced machine-to-machine access to the different research infrastructure data and metadata. So what we did together is gap analysis and fairness and development of a common implementation plan, agreement on common vocabulary for the observed data in the marine subdomain, agreement on common standards for basic metadata and data access, but also for the next step, advanced metadata and data access, and implementation of these basic services, as well as a showcase on the marine domain, focusing on data that are available with open license. So as a summary, each RI now using vocabulary published on CDataNet vocabularies. Smart mapping allows interoperability between the research vocabularies. Each RI provides a DCAT catalog description of its data services, and each RI set up or improve its data and metadata API. An essential variable data selection broker is now available and is connected to the ENVRI app. The way this use case operates is that it transforms a simple question from a user using the give me oxygen into a set of requests to the research infrastructure using the mapping provided by the NVS catalog and using the metadata and data API set up as a research infrastructure that allows to provide to the users the data he requests. And the way we will be using this in services such as Copernicus, for example, is that we will use this broker in order to update our data streams more efficiently from the different research infrastructure. So what we did there is that we further developed the marine standards that could be used then by other marine research infrastructure. We leverage the skill of the research infrastructure teams on FAIR principle implementation. By providing easy to use FAIR services on research infrastructure with provenance tracking, we think that it will be a way to unlock access to more data. ENVRI-FAIR is the first step toward multiple marine area integrated services that should be further developed for the benefits of ENVRI users. And triple sort techniques and ontology development innovation will be continued in the future. Next step is to go through a new assessment, fairness assessment, to really identify what has been the progress, to set up a second version of the use case in order to benefit from the new development and the new APIs that will be set up by the research infrastructure, and also to publish a white paper on FAIR implementation for the marine domain in order to support extension to other marine research infrastructure. Thank you for your attention.